I think European Union is a net positive as it is. You think so as well?
It's a disaster from many ways. LGBT rights, abortion rights, women rights, and all this so-called rights, it's bullshit. I don't want to raise my future children as product of leftism.
In a way that you're speaking about left,
Right.
it's a bit divisive.
Yeah.
It's like they are the enemy. I'm not against the left, I'm not against
I am against the left.
I'm not against the right, but this polarization kills us. People were voted for both of this, so we need to respect each other and start working something.
I love your naivety.
You love my naivety.
So naive. They think that they will harm us, calling us far right. I don't give a shit. They can call me a pink elephant. I'm gonna fight for this continent. I'm gonna fight for Europe because this is Christian Europe. This is Christian continent. Always has been. I was campaigning for Mr. Trump in US.
Really? You were campaigning for?
Yeah, I went to US and I was campaigning for him. Yeah.
You spoke so romantically so far about Mr. Trump.
Yeah, I love him. And as a politician.
Only as a politician. Come on.
I'm very, very straight. Is it on?
Yes.
Let's make Europe great again. Yeah.
You think Europe is not great?
It's not. It's falling. Everyone can tell by the attitude of the politicians, mainly because it's not about people. It's about what is happening now, what is happening here. When you see like this famous example of the plastic bottle, right?
Yeah, everyone
Elon Musk is making rockets, sending them to Mars soon, and Europe is so great with this plastic bottle. What is this crap?
Everyone is making fun of us in Twitter.
That would be funny if that would not be scary.
If not,
This is scary, man, because first of all, these plastic bottles are example number one. Then universal charger for our mobiles. They worked on it nearly 15 years to make USB-C universal in European Union. 15 years. Now they want us to leave meat and all this food because it's not healthy for you. We're gonna save planet. Europe is responsible for 7% of pollution, and now von der Leyen and the rest of the leftists, they're trying to save the world, the globe, with our pockets. Even though the European Union is responsible for 7%. This is madness. So if you're asking me if Europe is great, no, it's mad. That is the problem. So we have to make Europe great again. I mean, come back to the common sense.
It was ever great?
It was.
By the way, we're going to get into all these things, but it's important to answer one question. Who are you?
I'm a Polish member of the parliament, Mr. Zero. That's going to be easy to remember. My name is Dominik Tarczyński. I'm from Poland, Polish representative here in the European Parliament, second term. I served 2 terms in Polish Parliament before. So
you
now I'm here.
a politician for a lot of years, so it's been 20
Quite
years.
Long. 20 years and about 15 years in the Parliament, so long enough to say as it is.
So it's been 35 years you are
20, I mean, I was 16 when I started to be active. I was 16 in the youth, now I'm 46, so it's 30 years of, being in the politics and the active politics for 15 years. So I'm long enough to see what's going on and to see the greatness and the madness.
When I speak to you, you smell a lot of experience.
Well, it is because I've seen a lot. I travel a lot and I meet politicians. I just came back from US, and thank God you can see the difference, the way the American nation thinks now and what they decided about their future. And then I'm coming back to this building. We are in the European Parliament, by the way, now. Recording this one.
Wow!
So
you are amazing. You know how to make videos, man.
No, I'm trying to.
You are a better YouTuber than me.
I'm trying to explain it to the people where we are, because we're gonna show you around how the studio looks. No, there's no one here. We came here and there's no technicians. Why? I had this interview a couple months ago, and I said that there's no hot water in a tub in the restrooms in the European Parliament. Can you confirm?
Yeah.
There is no hot water for about 5 or 6 years. Since I'm here, there's no hot water because they had a problem with the pipe. They cannot fix it. Elon Musk is sending rockets to the Mars,
and the pipe actually.
Yeah. They said they had a problem. They don't know how to fix it.
Okay.
It's a joke. So if you're asking me when Europe was great, when we had Greek philosophers, when we had a Roman law, when we have Polish hussars fighting Muslims, defending Europe, defending our identity. That was the greatness of Europe. And we have to go back. I'm not saying that we should be a hussars now on the horses. We are not knights anymore, but we are Europeans with our own identity, our own future. And we should develop the not only European Union, but the whole continent. And we are not developing. It's a backwards. It's a way to, to go back to 15th, 14th century. This is madness. And this madness will be stopped. That's it.
But how is difficult? Because I came here and I understood this is so complicated how the system works. It's impossible to elect the right people in the right positions, like Ursula von der Leyen and all this stuff. So
I didn't vote for her.
Me as well, I didn't vote for her. But it's very difficult to change things here.
It is
because
difficult.
of how big, confusing, and bureaucratic the system is.
Because everyone is happy. Leftists took over European Union years ago, and they are so happy because of this, because of the system, because they are the ones who are making most out of the system. They are in charge of all this bureaucracy. They have people all over the institutions, and like simple man, bureaucrat is more important than MEP elected by the people. Like over 200,000 people voted for me, and it doesn't matter. If he will decide that this or that is not right, it's not right. So it doesn't have much, to me, with major democracy. This is bureaucracy. And I think Europe will be changed. I mean, European Union needs to be changed. No one really believed that Donald Trump will be elected. Like this,
a lot of people.
No. What I meant is by the mainstream media and those who are out with their voices, with their platforms. There is this very famous compilation, compilation with Donald Trump will never be a president. Oh, he's not gonna be the president. Tom Hanks, Nancy Pelosi, everyone, all this, and the landslide victory. So when I speak to my friends, Republican friends, conservative friends, and I say, okay, Europe will be changed, they say, oh, no, it can't be done. It will be done. It can be done. It will be done. Yeah. It will be done. Yeah.
I like your confidence, but you didn't tell me how.
I tell you how.
But also, it's important.
I tell you how.
I will just put another thing for the conversation. I think European Union is a net positive as it is. Mm-hmm. You think so as well?
In what way?
Needs a lot.
In what way is positive?
Well, economically, we can travel across, we can trade with each other, we can go in different countries and work, we can travel.
What about Switzerland? What about Norway?
They are in the Schengen zone, I think also.
What about trade?
Yeah,
what about traveling?
So you disagree that the European Union is good as it is? For my country, Cyprus, I think it's a huge...
No, it's not good at all. It's a disaster.
So you think overall is a net negative?
Of course. It's a disaster. Disaster from many ways. I tell you why. Number one, every single contract, every single deal between European Union and, I don't know, Indonesia or any other place in the world, there have to be LGBT rights, abortion rights, women rights, and all this so-called rights. It's bullshit. Ideology of the leftism is in trade deals or there is no deal. So they are using economical force to think as they think, as leftists think in European Union, or there is no deal. So they are not using tanks, they are using money. They are using economical force. It's the same with very conservative Poland. When we said we don't want abortion, we do not want illegal migration, we do not know all this crap, we don't want Green Deal, we want to have our miners, coal miners to have work, provide for their families. They said we're gonna fine you like €1 million a day. They are forcing you to do things you don't want to do. And that is the problem, that Europe supposed to be the union of sovereign countries. Where is sovereignty? When someone is pushing you, your democratically elected government, to do as they want. This is not democracy. I don't like that. I don't want to live. I don't want to raise my future children as product of leftism. I do not agree as a Catholic, as a Christian, with abortion, promotion of abortion. I do not agree with transgender ideology, which is present everywhere as a part of LGBT. I do not agree with that. And if you do not agree, you pay. You might be fined. You might pay for what you believe in. So, moving around, as I said, Switzerland is doing good, Norway is doing good, and many other countries are doing good without being oppressed. Because this is, to me, is some kind of oppression. And then economically, come on. Are you trying to say that we are better than others? In what way? Look at the public debts of the European Union. Look at the, what they do with the Green Deal. How much we used to, I'll give you an example. Like 2 hours flight in Europe from Warsaw to Brussels, like 3-4 years ago was about, I would say, 700 euros. Now it's 1,500 euros because of the Green Deal, because of taxes, because of their fight, because they want to fight for a clean planet. And China is laughing, Russia is laughing, India is laughing and drilling. So thank God for Mr. Trump. Thank God for the man who will put the world on the right track again. We do have to care about our planet, I do agree. But they behave like a sect. They behave like they would be possessed. You have to be, you have to understand the need of the people, and you have to understand that we human beings are the most important, and development is important, not getting backwards. So all these pluses, your examples are very often used. Oh, we can travel. Oh, we can, what else? What else did you say? We are not North Korea. Even if country is not in European Union, you can leave, you can come. And if you're giving me an example about Schengen was closed by Germany a couple months ago. Like if you want to leave Poland on the Polish-German border, you have to go through normal procedure because just they close it because of illegals. They think that illegals coming from Poland. No, it's not. Because this madness was started by Germany, and to be frank, Germany is in charge of European Union by the politicians, by their influence and everything.
Also, they pay 25% of the GDP of the European Union.
They can pay 50. They can pay 75. It's their own decision. It doesn't mean they can own us. Okay? You don't own me. I'm not a prostitute. You cannot buy me. Okay? If you want union, if you want cooperation, it's fine. Everyone has the same duties. Everyone has the same rights. That's their system. They are in charge of this system, and they should treat everyone equal. Using money is, to me, is a way of force of the force. Instead, like what's happened in Greece. Like I had a conversation with my friend from Greece, and I said, "Why do you don't like Germans so much?" And he said, "My apartment I rent from the German guy. This apartment was built by a German company. When I'm getting down, there is a bank next to the entrance of my apartment building. There's a German bank. The road is about to be built by German company. The grocery shop is German." And he's going on and on and on. Who owns Greece now in many ways? That is a very sad story, but it's true. They used the very weak moment of this country, and they are using their opportunity to have more and more influence. So I'm not that radical that I'm not the one who doesn't want to cooperate. I do, as a partner, not as a slave. I don't like leftists to own me. They will never own me. They will never own Poland. Never ever. It's over 1,000 years history country.
And when you're saying leftist, you mean because most of the members of the parliament and the administration have kind of a bit more left ideology. This is what you mean.
Okay, I give you an example on Poland. That's, I think, the best example. Poland, after the war, was under Russian occupation, right? For 70 years, Soviet Union controlled Poland. Poland was a satellite country, controlled and actually occupied by Soviet Union. As a post-communist country, we still have people who were building communism in Poland. They are old, but they are still alive. They do have sons who are in charge of the media in Poland in many cases. They have grandsons who are in Polish parliament or here in European Parliament. And they continue communism in a very modern way. New suit, I'm a Democrat now, social democrat or socialist, I'm gonna fight socially for people. They are coming from the communist families, that's not their fault. But their fault is that they continue communist way of thinking. I can give you names. And that's example on Poland. When you see the way they want to own you as a Marxism, it's the same way. It's not only leftism with abortion and LGBT. They want to take away your freedom. What did they say about X? What did they say about Musk? Let's ban it.
It's dangerous for democracy.
How was it during the communism? They just banned it. You couldn't do anything, you couldn't say anything. What is the difference? The difference is just a suit. They have a nice suit, they are Democrats. We are far-right radicals, and they are Democrats. That's the manipulation. They are not far-left, they are Marxists. They continue the work of the fathers and grandfathers. In many cases, I can give you names. So when you see a beautiful lady, a socialist like Eva Kaili, who was caught with the bribes, with the cash, with the money flowing from Qatar, that's one of the examples from socialists, how they run this business in here. I'm not stupid. I'm a lawyer.
So
I'm doing my PhD on international law, and I know how things should work.
You think there is a lot of corruption? People
they are corrupted, big time. Not only Eva Kaili, there was much.
So you think this is happening with a lot of MPs?
Oh yeah, many of them were arrested, like Tarabella, Cozzolino. They are all communists, like Cozzolino from Italy. He used to be a member of Italian Communist Party. Communist Party, that's the actual name of the party. So we are fighting with the communism in a new modern form, but it's still communism. It's a Marxism. The way they behave same way, many of them. So they are corrupted, and this is not my opinion. The Belgium arrested many of them in Qatar, and famous Qatargate scandal. You will see, you're here only for 6 months. After 5 years, you will not be the same man. I'm telling you, believe me.
In what way?
You will be disappointed. You will say, I don't want to have nothing to do with it. You will feel really bad. Sometimes it's like the Matrix. It's better not to know. Because once you know...
Don't take the pill.
I'm serious.
Please, guys, take the pill.
Sometimes it's better not to know. But once you're in it, and once you realize, you will fight them till the last day of your life. I will do.
Okay, so we are going to talk a bit about how do we change Europe, according to you. But also, I want to make a distinction. So I see you in a way that you're speaking about left.
Right.
It's a bit divisive.
Yeah.
It's like they are the enemy.
Yeah, just like Mr. Millet said about them. No.
Well, I like Millet.
I love him. I love him. That's why I'm trying to quote him. Communism is a shit. As he said, merda. That's what it is. That's what communism is. In Polish law, criminal law, you are not allowed to promote fascism, Nazis, and communists. You are not allowed to promote Stalin or Hitler. That's how it should be. When you see people...
Well, you said the same thing. They shouldn't do it to you.
Very often the same argument appears.
But now you want to do it to them?
The same thing appears, the same argument appears when it comes to communism and fascism. Let's imagine you living in a house, right? The neighbor next to you coming to your home, tied you up, rape your child before you, rape your wife, behead your wife and your child, leave, and then group of others, neighbors, starting to wear his image on a t-shirt, says, "We love him, we love him, we love him." Would you agree for that? Do you think it's a freedom of speech? This is what they do with Hitler or Stalin. Stalin, communism, is over 200 million victims. Hitler killed 6 million Poles. I don't want him on a t-shirt. I don't want him as a hero because it's not right. And that is a major freedom of speech, right? Let's say they have Bin Laden on their t-shirt as a, "We love him, we love." Is that right? No, it's not.
So you want censorship?
No, it's not censorship. It's a major responsibility for the dignity of the nation.
But
it's
this
different.
is exactly what they're saying.
So
for
let
the
me.
other
So
side.
okay. So no.
But where do you draw the line, and who decides if it's a good image to put on a t-shirt?
Genocide. That is a very good question. Genocide. My PhD, as I mentioned, is on international law, especially on genocide, and very, very specifically on cultural genocide. When you see people like Hitler, Stalin, Bin Laden, and others,
Netanyahu.
there is no discussion. There is no discussion that you have the right to say no. That's too much. But when you're attacking X and Musk for memes on internet because they don't like it, because it's not in your agenda, political agenda, you cannot compare these things. And you don't have to be a scientist or you don't have to be a lawyer to know the difference. So I will never be open for kind of manipulation. Oh, let's say whatever we want. There's no boundaries. Let's say Musk is the same as t-shirt with Stalin or Hitler. It's not. We have to understand as God gave us brain, God gave us conscience, God gave us intelligence, which should be used. So it's not me, it's them who are trying to use censorship on us to stop us from developing, from reaching out people with our message, with the truth of history and what is happening in leftist states. This is what they tried with Mr. Trump. This is what they are trying now with Mr. Musk. This is what they're trying with us as well. So, yes, freedom with responsibility.
Okay, let's talk about how do we change it, because I don't agree with everything that you're saying, but I agree that we can improve Europe a lot.
Yes.
There is a lot of room for improvement.
Freedom, that's number one.
And we are currently, as we see, behind on the biggest race in the human history, which is artificial intelligence. People are making fun of us.
China just released it yesterday, and that's
DeepSeek
crushed us in many ways.
Also United States. Crash a lot of the market, all this stuff.
But Nvidia is going down for now, but they don't know that Mr. Trump is in the office now. Their response will be great. And that's why I love it. Because Mr. Trump, which I think is one of the greatest men in history, and Musk will respond. And that's gonna be beauty. For the goodness of humanity, for development, for I think it will bring us a lot of good to the humanity. I love it. I can't wait.
Okay, so we need to talk. But by the way, we're going to talk about how to fix the EU, but and what steps and what it needs to change. But you spoke so romantically so far about Mr. Trump.
Yeah, I love him. And as a politician.
Only as a politician? Come on.
I'm very, very straight.
Platonic love exists.
No, I'm talking about,
But tell me about
I admire his work. I think he's, as I said, one of the greatest men in the history of humanity.
Tell me a bit about the relationship with Europe and the Trump administration.
Europe, you mean
Europe is frightened now that
if you would call someone a shit, or if you would compare someone to Stalin or Hitler, which they did in Europe, to Mr. Trump, they compared to Stalin or Hitler.
It's not a very wise idea for our biggest ally to call him.
It's not very smart. And the wife of Polish foreign minister did this. Mr. Applebaum, Madam Applebaum, she compared Mr. Trump.
Who did this?
Madam Applebaum, a wife of the Polish foreign minister, compared Mr. Trump to Hitler and Stalin. I don't think he's happy. I don't think he will forget about it. The way they behaved like Germans, there is a very famous speech. I put it on my TikTok when they are laughing. Like Germans, Mr. Trump went like, if you will cooperate with Russia, if you will buy gas from Russia, you will become dependent. Don't do it. This is what he said to Germans about their cooperation, about Nord Stream 2. They were like this, laughing at Mr. Trump because they didn't treat him, serious. They are not laughing now. You're not laughing now, Germans. Why? Because he became a president again. He will not forget their laughter. It's not a joke. They think it's a joke. It's not a movie. It's not a fairy tale. It's a real politics. And you pay your consequences for your words, for your behavior, even for your body language. They will pay for it. So they are not happy, not because they disagree. They are not happy because they understand that drill, baby, drill means that American economy will boom in a minute. And their ideology, sick, green ideology of saving the whole globe, even though we are responsible for 7% of the pollution, is suicide. It's madness. So I don't like this way of thinking. It's a suicide. It's a way to self-destruction.
So you are saying now we are fucked.
Big time.
Because we screw also the relationship with the United States.
Yes, we have to rebuild it, and I spent a lot of weeks during the campaign. I was campaigning for Mr. Trump in US.
Really?
I left this place and I said, I'm not going to spend a minute.
Really? You were campaigning for
Yes. Yeah, I went to US and I was campaigning for him, yeah.
Just because you think it's the right thing to do?
Because I think he will save the world. It's not only about America. This man and his victory is for the American first, as he said. That's obvious. But if America is changed, if America is safe, Europe is safe, is stronger. Poland is safe. We are next to Russia. Remember that. And what he said 2 days ago, he says to Putin, if you will not stop this war, I will put so much sanctions on you that you will cry like a baby. Let's say that's my words, but the sense of his statement was very, very tough. So I believe that his policies will influence the whole world. That's why I decided to go to US. I met many Polish people. I had rallies and meetings with the crowds of Poles, and not only Poles. I was campaigning. I even joined him during the campaign in Salem, Virginia, during the rally, and I was doing like the biggest podcast in the world, promoting him, like Patrick Bet-David and others. I worked really hard to help this man because I think that my work was the work for the common sense. That's why he said, I'm not Republican, I'm not Democrat. This is the party of common sense. We need common sense. It doesn't matter if you're a socialist, it doesn't matter if you are called leftist, it doesn't matter. If you have a common sense, you will come back home, because there are so many leftists converting now saying, oh, I was manipulated, that's wrong. And it's good. We want people back from this sect I do believe that it's possible. So when you're asking me how we're going to change it, we're going to win elections by taking people back. Hold them, hug them, and I say, welcome home. Let's fight for our values, for our families, for our safety, for our development, for our growth in many ways, for our education. How? Because of Mr. Trump, the first steps on, let's say, Facebook, there's no pregnant man anymore. There's no emoji of pregnant man anymore. This madness will be stopped by his influence, by freeing the bird. X is free now and will not be stopped. You can communicate, you can share your ideas, and then
it's a beautiful thing actually with X now that is free speech, and you can see a lot of
Thanks
arguments.
to him.
I go to X now. I was never a user of X, but now you go and you see
and you see how you feel. You went, oh, it's a great.
Yeah, it's good to
feeling.
have arguments.
You see, you know how many millions and millions people can breathe and say, oh, it's a beautiful feeling. You see? We have to free, the bird was freed, and X as a platform where you can exchange your views with those who do not agree with you. You're not banned. You have to remember that Mr. Trump was just banned. He had no rights.
It's even crazy, like it was the city president.
Yeah.
And it was banned.
Yeah.
From Twitter.
So this
is madness.
This is actual war. So how are we going to win it? Thanks to Mr. Trump, we're going to win elections in every country in Europe.
Okay, yeah. Now you are talking about how to fix Europe now, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
How to fix Europe. Go out to the people, be active. Because the question was, how? I went to America, I spent many weeks campaigning. Thousands or millions of people like I do spend their time and they change the nation. Landslide victory. Never happened, in my opinion. Why European politicians are not so active? Why? He was doing like 3 or 4 rallies a day. A day. I witnessed it. I was there. And I was like, God, this man is really... He took a bullet and he didn't stop. Compare him to European parliamentarians. They are just eating lunches, having a good time here. There is no comparison. So we have to be active. We, Republicans, conservatives, like myself, to travel around Europe, convince people, talk to them, spend time with them. It's not like we have, campaign for 3 or 4 or 6 months. Our life, political life, is a campaign now. It's a war. If you don't want your child to be exposed to transgender ideology, if you do not want your child to be in a danger of leftism ideology of 52 or 68 genders, bullshit crap, you have to work your ass off now for the future of your children. And I mean it, because I don't see my post as a job. But I see my post as a man responsible for his family and for his country.
I want you to be more practical. How do we change the European...
Campaign. Use media. Use social media. You see, that's why I agreed to have this conversation with you, because I think you are the great example. We agree or not, you are the great example of people where we can spend some time, have a conversation, and the viewer will decide he's right or not, I like it or not, I like some part of it or not, and then apply it to his life. Cooperate. You don't have a problem to talk to me.
No, I'm having so much fun.
See,
I was excited.
Me too. Thank you very much. So I think we have to use social media because we are the media now. We are the media now. Musk was right. Musk is very right. We are the media now. The very basic reason they hold us for years is media. Mainstream shit media. Now we have X. Now we have podcasts. Be active. Even if you have 20 subscribers, if you have 10, talk to them. So if you're asking me practically,
yes,
I want people to understand that it's not up to us only, not only about politicians. Obviously, that's our duty and responsibility mainly because we are elected to represent them. But we have to fight as people fight for Mr. Trump during the campaign. Like everyone was active on TikTok, on YouTube, X. Everyone was very active. I would say the nation was a headquarter of his campaign. Like everyone was a member of this great movement. So I think we have to start the movement in Europe, because when I said make Europe great again as a movement, and they said, some leftists, why you are copying America? This is Europe. Because this is not America. Making great Europe as a movement of common sense political parties around the world. That's why I said Mr. Trump is one of the greatest in history of the world, because he started the movement of common sense instead of 56
walk me through
genders and pronouns and all this bullshit.
Walk me through it, because we campaign.
Yes.
We win people over. And
yes. Then we're gonna
vote,
put. Then
they vote in the next election, European elections, in a better way that you think that you're going to convince them.
Yeah.
And then we'll have the parliament that is a majority different opinion.
And different commission.
A different commission.
Because the parliament has to confirm the president of the commission, as you know. So von der Leyen, let's send her home. Green Deal, rubbish, trash.
But by the way, a lot of people here in the parliament understood that the Green Deal is problematic. Even the
What do you mean problematic? Problematic is raining weather outside. Green Deal is a disaster. So we have to get rid of it. Problematic. Stop. Come on. Problematic. This is bullshit which destroys our lives, our prices, cost of energy, our production. This is disaster. So we have to get rid of this shit. We have to get rid of the commission which is in favor of this ideology, because you have to remember there is no logical explanation of all this Green Deal bullshit. There is no explanation.
But okay, as I understand, everything happens behind closed doors here in the
that is the problem.
European Parliament. So let's say the next time we vote for the similar person like von der Leyen, or von der Leyen herself, she will come, she will promise a lot of stuff to the parties before. I will do this for your agenda, I will do this, I will do this, and then she will get behind closed door, agree, and become elected as well. It's like, that's why I'm not as hopeful that we can change Europe. I don't know.
I know.
Because
we can.
Because there is...
Look at Mr. Trump, first day, 200 executive orders. He was sitting there in front of the cameras. Next one. It can be done when the right people are elected. You see, the problem of yours is going to be even bigger in 5 years. You will lose all your hope. You will say, I can't believe this. I do not believe it can happen. It can happen. When I said 0 illegal migration in Poland, they called me Islamophobe. They called Poland Islamophobe. We didn't let anyone in. 0. No one. It can be done. Mr. Trump built the wall. What we said, our government, let's build the wall. We built the wall. They even managed to kill one of our soldiers, as you know, with a spear through the wall. We passed the law in Polish parliament that we can use live bullets now. So if you want to cross the border, illegally, if you want to cross our wall to harm one of the border services or soldiers, you will be killed. Can be done? Can be done. You have to have a right people. We passed the law that we can use lethal weapon, you can use live bullets, and if you want to harm or kill one of our soldiers, border services, you will be killed. So why, if in Poland it can be done, why it cannot be done in European Union? It can be done. We have to elect right people. So I'm very optimistic after what I've seen in US. I'm going to work very hard to make it happen in Europe, but we need to have a movement. People, not politicians. We need Make Europe Great Again movement now. And I'm starting to build it step by step. It's going to take time, but victory, final victory will come.
So this is the way that you are describing of change. We get a lot of votes on the stuff.
Yes.
That you,
free media. First of all, free media. Be active in the media, social media. Be active when you talk to the people. Vote. Change your government's leftism. Get rid of post-communists because they are a cancer to the major democracies. I'm not saying that the different opinions should not be present. That's democracy, right? We do not agree with everything in 100%, but that's democracy, major democracy. What they do, they silence us, like they get rid of us from in the committees. Like we have nothing to say. Nothing. They just rule as they want. That's true. That's the practical fact. There's much more to
so
be
you
given
are not
as
trying
example.
to do work inside the European Union Parliament to change things. You are trying to change the public.
We have to change treaties because, as you said, I think there is a need. What they trying to do, they want to change. As you know, when you are joining European Union as a country, you sign the treaty, right? When you have all the rules, how you're going to be treated, how you treat European Union, this and that, they don't give a shit about it. They don't care. There's many examples when they do not care about what they signed. So you don't change the rules during the game. They do. They don't give a shit. That is the problem, right? So treaties must be changed. European Parliament
to
structure.
Change in what way?
In a way to provide the real sovereignty to the member states. European Union is not a country. It's not a state, right? It's a union of independence and sovereignty countries, right? So why do they decide about our judiciary? Why do they decide about abortion? Why do they decide about many cases which are excluded in the treaties? Why?
So you think the European Union should have a lot less influence?
Of course.
To the member states.
As you said in the beginning, they should provide us free trade between the countries, easy access to the countries, traveling, not telling us to kill our own babies, not telling us about abortion, not giving us this bullshit about LGBT ideology. There is nothing in the treaties.
You think it should be like what Trump did? Every state in the United States should decide their own rules and regulations about the... Even more
because with all the respect, I don't want Belgium to tell me, Polish, with 1,000 years of history, what the tolerance is or what the rule of law is. I don't want them to tell me that. They have no... We had who had the first constitution in Europe? Second in the world.
Is it Poland?
It is Poland. And they are trying to tell me about the rule of law. So after 70 years of communism, I do not want any system to be over my judiciary, over my constitution, over my dignity, over my rights, over my freedom. If you want to cooperate, it's fine. Let's have a union. Let's not pay taxes, this and that, right? Let's cooperate. But you do not own me. You Berlin, you Brussels do not own me.
Okay, so I understand.
Freedom, freedom of the nations. So many countries, as it should be, as it is in the treaties.
So the big picture is we are going to get a lot of members in the European Parliament that they have the ideology that you suggest, and they're going to have the majority in a lot of the stuff. And if they have the majority, it will be easier to cancel stuff, to pass stuff.
No, if you buy a
cancel,
car,
I mean about the Green Deal.
Listen, if you buy a house, you pay for your house or a car. Let's say a car, house. You buy a house, and after a year, past owner is calling you. Okay, you bought the house, but the windows are mine. So close the window now or open the window now. Doors inside your house are mine, so pay for you. But you said, but the contract doesn't say that. Well, it doesn't say directly, but it's mine. That's how it is with the treaties. We sign the treaty, and they say you cannot change your judiciary system. You have to provide healthcare education about abortion. You have to use pronouns because you are not
but
more than
if
enough.
we have the majority in the parliament, we can change the treaties.
Yeah.
So
No. The problem is that the treaties must be accepted by the European Union. That's number one. We have to change the structure of the parliament. But like in Sweden over 100
So we
years,
cannot change the treaties.
we can. We have to change the parliament and the commission, because parliament accepts and confirms the president of the commission. So we have to win elections to the European Parliament, and the best way would be if the countries, member states, would have common sense parties, freedom parties, in charge of their own governments. That's the most important. So what I would suggest, get involved in make Europe great again in your own countries. Fight for freedom, and I mean it. Be active. Social media is the best way, the best tool. I think if people will not take responsibility and action, nothing will change, just like in Sweden. Over 100 years of socialist ruling Sweden. Look what is happening in Sweden. No-go zones, illegal migrants, rapes, terrorist attacks, stabbings, beheadings. All this in Sweden. Over 100 years of ruling of socialist leftism. Look what they've done to this country. I don't want it in Poland. I don't want it in Europe. I want this beautiful, beautiful continent to be romantic like Paris. What is happening in Paris now? It's burning. It's a fact. Who wants to go and engage in Paris now? Next to the trash bins and next to the illegals who are fighting, raping. It's official data from here, from Eurostat. Look what is happening in Germany. Look, it's what is happening in beautiful Italy. Thank God Mrs. Meloni is fighting. But look what leftists did to Italy. I went to Lampedusa. I've seen it with my own eyes. I don't want it. I don't want Europe to be destroyed.
So I understand. So you're saying parliament, we win elections, and then we change treaties as we go. So
there you go.
That's kind of your way of changing Europe and making
number one.
it
Then,
great.
then, we have to cooperate with the United States. You like it or not, United States is the leader of the free world. After 4 years of Mr. Trump, they will get so strong that we have to cooperate with them. We do not want to cooperate with Russia, Belarus, Iran. We don't want that. China will eat us like this. They're gonna swallow us. We don't want that, because we are who are the owners of this continent. Okay? Greek philosophy did not come from Wuhan. Roman law did not come from Shenzhen. They did not come from Beijing. They came from Italy, they came from Rome, they came from Greece. Polish hussars did not come from Beijing. We have dignity, honor, and history. We have our own identity. And this is what I want to fight for who we are. Do you understand my love to this continent? My understanding of who I am? Meaning of my life? Meaning of being here on the planet? I love being European. I love being Polish. I have no complexes at all about it. I love it. I love history. I know who I am. I want to leave something after me. Right? I don't want to sit here and watch this bullshit crap. I want to fight in a real war. I don't want to waste time. That's why I'm trying to encourage everyone to be active.
Okay, can we talk a bit about the Polish presidency? Do you think we have a rotating presidency, every country gets for 6 months? Do you think this is important? Do you think this affects anything?
No.
Or do you think this is just a show?
It's just a show. What do you mean presidency? What comes out from all previous presidencies? It's just a beautiful name, fancy name, presidency. Like someone would be a president. Doesn't mean nothing. It's a kind of honorable title. What does it do to you practically? I mean,
I don't know, I'm new here.
It's like, okay,
I
so-
just had Hungary's presidency,
so-
and it was Orban.
He's having presidency now. I'm having presidency now. What does it do? Nothing. You sit somewhere, you call differently, but practically it doesn't do anything.
So-
It's bullshit because bureaucrats and European Commission, they are making all these decisions, and all this presidency crap doesn't do anything because presidency says, oh, we would like to work on the planet because planet is burning. And then Ursula is coming saying, more, not enough. So you can propose something, you can have your own agenda. It doesn't mean it's gonna happen. So to me, it's a theater, and bureaucrats are making all these decisions.
And
I mean, you can try to, propose something, but there is no real power in presidency. It's a wrong name, presidency. They are playing with the words to make it big. You're leading the meeting, that's it. It has nothing to do, majority of these bureaucrats will make up all these decisions. That's it. You're gonna spend here 5 years and you're gonna be really disgusted.
so about the...
I'm sorry to say that, really, yes.
Very hopeful meeting.
unless, my dear, unless you're gonna join the movement and you're gonna fight for real freedom as you see this freedom. Not the oppression with all these pronouns as bullshit and transgender kids. I don't want this shit. No.
So we had your president or prime minister was talking in the previous plenary session and he was saying we need to stop the far right and they have nothing to do in this parliament. And then I don't have a problem with what he says. He can say we have democracy. I respect your opinion, but and most of the parliament stand and clap. So I'm not against the left. I'm not against.
I am against the left.
I'm not against
against
the right. But this polarization, it kills us. We cannot cooperate. We cannot work together if we are attacking each other.
They do not. They do. You see, the difference between us and them is that I said.
So you don't like your prime minister? Or it was prime minister?
No, I don't like him at all. He's the one who says that Donald Trump is a Russian agent. How can you say this kind of crap?
A Russian agent.
Yeah, that's what he says publicly during one of the rallies. That Donald Trump is a Russian agent. No, I don't like this. And you see, the difference between us and them is that I said, let's bring leftists, the victims of the leftism, home, hug them, and take them with us. This is what I said, right? But they do not want to cooperate with us because we are far right, like that would be something. They are not even far left. They are sect, extremist Marxist sect. They think that they will harm us, calling us far right. I don't give a shit. They can call me a pink elephant. I'm going to fight for my country. I'm going to fight for this continent. I'm going to fight for Europe because this is Christian Europe. This is Christian continent, always has been.
But one of these, the things that need to happen, instead of just calling Marxist or left or far right,
it's a fact.
Or far right and extremist, they need to. People need to say, okay, what is the policy that you disagree? And they cannot do this. They just far right, fuck them. We don't talk to them. And it's we need to talk. Okay, where do we disagree? And people were voted for both of this. So we need to respect each other and start working something.
I love your naivety.
You love my naivety.
So naive. It's like Mr. Trump would try to cooperate with Nancy Pelosi, AOC, Jack Schumer, or the rest of the left. Do you understand that they hate us? They do not understand the word cooperation. They want us to disappear. They do not want us to exist. Just like Marxists.
No, that's 100% true.
That is the problem. They do not want us to be on this planet. It's a fact, just like communists. That's why they killed 200 million people. Communists hate humanity. They wanted to own people like a subject. That is the problem. So the far left, They do not want us to exist. They want us to get out of the politics. They want to be the one. They don't like democracy. They're using these beautiful words: democracy, freedom of speech, liberal democracy, all this crap. But behind these beautiful words, their actions are really totalitarian. That's a fact.
And just to go back, you said in the beginning one point about, it's been
12.
a lot of time that we're doing
We
this.
have another war to fight in a minute.
What word to fight?
I have another meeting, but that's okay. Though. We have time. Don't worry.
Okay.
Committee.
So, you have committee. I have as well. So, you said that the European Union is trying to impose their view and ideology economically to other countries.
That's right.
And I want also the people to tell us their opinion, what they think. But I think I came to understand that this is true. We're saying, if you don't act according to what we want, we don't give you money. We don't trade with you.
Or you will have to pay. Like we did not agree for illegal migrants.
And do you think
and they said, okay, so we're going to fine you 25,000 euro for each illegal migrant, which you should take by the quotas. They started with this quota system.
So they find you a lot?
A lot, millions. And we said, we're not going to pay. The life is more important than your money.
You paid or you didn't pay?
Well, they did not pay us what they should, basically, so they deducted it from the money it should come to Poland. So we paid for it, yes. We paid for our freedom. We paid for our safety. Zero terrorist attacks.
So you think
in Poland, the only country in Europe.
You think because we are giving them money, whereas if you are giving me money, you can have some string attached, for example. You think this is right or is wrong to give money and expect these three things for you to change according to
no one is giving you money. When we join European Union, we open our market for you. You make money on our market. Then you share the money you make around the countries. Some of the countries joined yesterday, so they are growing. Some of them joined 20 years ago, they are big. So if you want to make money on my land, if I let you use my market, you're not giving me anything. You are sharing the money I own because of my land. So European Union is not giving us anything. It's not a grace. Because European Union doesn't have its own money. You get it? We gave them 40 million people market in Central Europe. Most of the Germans, let's say, markets are present in Poland. Many companies are present in Poland. They're making billions on our market because we allowed them. So there's no grace. There's no money from European Union. Because European Union doesn't have its own money, like every other government.
But it's giving some money to some countries that they are in the transition period.
Yes, but then you're becoming a net payer, and then you are becoming a net payer, and you pay more into the European Union that you are given. It's a process. Do you get it?
No.
Okay. When you are in European Union, let's say for 10 years, you are given more than others. You're growing. Then you are coming to the net payer and you pay more. You pay 1,000, but they pay you back 800 euros. That's what is happening.
Okay, so you think this shouldn't happen, to give money to...
Well, it should happen, but not in a way they did it in their system. For example, agriculture. When every country joins European Union, you have to have your own standards, obviously, from European Union to produce whatever you produce. To get money for agriculture, every farmer has to submit documents. Very complicated.
Yeah.
Every country has a problem with it because people do not know how to do it. It's complicated. Bureaucracy is terrible. So they know, like European Union knows, from decades of practice, that if budget for agriculture for this country is 100 million euros, only, let's say, 40 will be used by the farmers because they will be able to fill out all the forms and they know that they are not going to spend it. They're making money on it. Do you understand?
Interesting.
So I will tell you more when we meet next time.
Yes, and it will be interesting maybe in the future to see if I'm more...
I hope if you like it, if the viewers like it, I'm happy to come again.
Yes, to discuss if I'm more hopeful or less hopeful
You will.
in the future.
Thank you so much.
I love you. Thank you guys
Pleasure.
for watching. We love you.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
thank you very much. Come next time.